In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to manually remove a page from Google and also how to clear the cache for a URL that's showing up in Google AI mode. If you've recently updated a page on your website, I recommend requesting re-indexing first. I have another video on how to do this. I'll link below. If you've deleted a page, you can put in a redirect and Google will eventually remove the page. However, if it's been a while, like a month or so, and your page is still indexed, or if you urgently need to have a page removed for any reason, requesting removal is the next step. I've also found that pages will update quicker in the Google search result pages than they will in the AI citations. The AI citation will eventually catch up with the reindexing, but if you request reindexing and you're tired of waiting for that cache to clear, I'm going to show you how to manually request that as well. I'm Cara Wolf, Squarespace SEO expert and website designer. To get started, you want to come to your Search Console dashboard. If you have synced up your Squarespace website with Search Console, you'll have to come directly into Search Console to request these changes. To access that, you're going to go to search.google.com/search-console. As long as you are signed into the Google account that you used to set up your original connection, this is what your dashboard is going to look like. To handle these requests, we're going to go to the left side menu and we're going to click on Removals. Now I'm going to walk you through the various options in here. Temporary removals. This is to remove a URL, or if you wanted a whole entire site, from Google for 6 months. The idea is that this is for content that you just want to get rid of temporarily. It's not necessarily a 404 page. The page hasn't been removed. You just want to get rid of it, get it de-indexed essentially for 6 months. Now, if you request temporary removal of a page and it no longer exists at the end of 6 months, it's not going to get re-indexed. The outdated content and Safesearch filtering are newer. I've always used the temporary removals. That's all that we had for a while there, but I am going to walk you through what these other options are. Outdated content, according to Google, is supposed to be more for permanently deleted content. So if something is dead or gone and it's resulting in a 404 error and you want to permanently remove it, so you don't want any reindexing after 6 months, that's what this would be for. Safesearch filtering. This is when you request to block explicit content, violent type sites, things like that. So any request that you put in will show up here. Now, it's important to note that on the temporary removal, we have a big red button and we can submit a request right from Search Console. Outdated content, if you do want to do an outdated content request, you have to hover over this icon and click on Remove Outdated Content tool. Now, what's funny about this is it says if you're the site owner of this page, you can use the removal tools instead. It's faster and doesn't require approval. So then we're back to this temporary removal. So the main reason to use this, the refreshment of outdated content. Let me actually close this. So the reason you would use the outdated content tab and go through this process versus temporary removals, mostly if you're not a verified site owner and you need to get rid of some content, possibly for a client, as long as this can be a permanent request, as long as you're not wanting it to get reindexed in 6 months from now, you can go ahead and use the Remove Outdated Content tool. However, if you're a site owner, like the blurb said, this is faster and easier. So if you want to get rid of a URL, I'm going to walk you through how to do that right now. Now, why would you want to get rid of a URL? For example, I had a page on my website that was being referenced in the LLMs. So it was a page that I was doing some testing on and it was showing up in Google. And about a week ago, I put this prompt in, what can you tell me about Websites by Cara, which is my business. And at the time, it was being referenced. Now, in the last week, it looks like Google finally caught up with this change. I took this page off the internet I took the page down about a month ago. I think it's been about 5 weeks now, put in a redirect, and that was all I did. And it looks like Google finally caught up, but it took about a month, right? As of a week ago, it was still being referenced in here. So you have a couple choices when you do remove a page and put in a redirect, or if you get rid of a page, I always recommend doing a redirect. If you are tired of waiting for Google to catch up with that, it eventually will. That's where this can be handy. Or if there's just something on your website, you make some major shift in your business and you just have to get a page off the internet for some reason, that's what we're going to do today. So I have copied the page, the URL. Let me go ahead and grab that. And I'm going to do new request. Now you have a couple options in here. So this is where we have the snippet option too. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that we're going to talk about removing a URL, but we also are going to talk about clearing that cache because, as I had said previously, when you do request reindexing, it doesn't take that long for Google to reindex the page and get it up on Google, but I've seen those AI mode citations take forever. Again, they do eventually catch up, but they lag behind. So Google has this new clear snippet thing as well. So to get to these options, again, we're under temporary removals and we went to new request, and now we can temporarily remove a page. We can temporarily remove a whole entire website, or we can clear a snippet. And this is when it says keep URL in search results, clear the snippet the next time Google reindexes this page. The current snippet will get deleted until then. So to be honest, I would probably, again, this isn't a permanent removal, but if your websites are showing up in AI mode and you're just impatient wanting it to get updated, I wouldn't do this unless there's something in there that really needs to be taken down, because it is going to remove the snippet entirely until it refreshes. So for today, we are doing a temporary removal of a URL because I created this page. I'm no longer using it. And it was still being referenced in ChatGPT. It's not anymore, but we're going to go ahead and just go through this process anyways. So I only want to remove this URL. I do not want to remove all with prefix. It says all URL variations will be affected. So we don't have to put in the www, the HTTP, the HTTPS. It's basically all of them. I'm just giving it the main one, but it's going to affect all of them. All right, let's go ahead and do next. All right, this URL and all of its variations will be blocked from Google for 6 months. You can cancel this at any time. So basically what this is going to do is it's just going to force this off of indexing, force it off the internet, and in 6 months from now when it goes to reindex it won't exist, right? I've removed that page, I've redirected it back to my home page, so this is just going to basically delete it from Google without me having to wait for that to happen. So let's go ahead and submit the request. And here we are. So if you ever want to come back and make a change, you just would come back to this left-hand menu, go to removals, and you can see under temporary removals, we've got this, processing request, and you could come in here and cancel it if you want. If this video was helpful, like and subscribe to my channel and look in the description below for all of the links to the good stuff.